Hello everybody, this is Piteio from Veil of the Ages, and for this video I am blessed once again to have a good friend and passionate supporter and an excellent person overall. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Frar.
Hello guys.
Good evening, Frar. It's great to have you back on the channel, and we played a few days ago a game of the quick starter. But we thought that we could do a brief video just with the pictures, so it doesn't take, 2 hours or something. So the game was between Infernal Dwarves and Sylvan Elves. Frar was using the Infernal Dwarves. This is a game of the quick starter, so with the simplified rules. So it's going to be a quick game. In the quick starter army for the Infernal Dwarves, you have a prophet over here. You have a unit of Infernal Warriors with blunderbusters, I think a dozen of those. Some 20 vassal levies with paired weapon. I think you can hear the ambulance by now. That's welcome to Cologne. And then a unit of 5 Tauruks. And this is how you deployed them to the left, Frar.
Yes. So the point of my overall strategy was to put my Infernal Dwarves with blunderbuss in the center and to shoot everything that will come first to them, and to flank with the Torek, so I can quickly go to the top and then threaten your flank. And my vassal levies was to go first and to maybe a bit secure my flank, because there's a lot of models in it, so I'm pretty sure this can tank everything that come at them.
Yeah, it's a solid unit.
So, and the last thing, I put my, I think it's my prophet alone, because I feel I don't have, it's not very dangerous for him. And then I will not lose, as we play a Kickstarter game, I will not lose a model in my Infernal Dwarves unit. So I think it was a good call, and we'll see later. No spoiler, but this little guy did a lot.
This dude. Yeah, it is true that you had a cover terrain here, so that was also good, for protection. So that was definitely a good move. So let's see what we have for the Sylvan Elves army. We have a druid, we have 10 archers, we have 8 dryads, and we have 5 wild huntsmen. And as you see here, there's a unit of archers with the druid inside, because the druid, on the other hand, differently from the prophet, is in trouble if you shoot at her. Then we have the 8 dryads in the center, and these two can do some shooting and then can control the center, and then similarly cavalry on the flank, notably the wild huntsman here, to do some sort of whip maneuver. So this brings us to turn 1. So you can follow the progress of the turns here. Each of these colored dice is a turn, and they tell you the phases. So this is turn 1 charge phase for Frar, where nothing much happens, I would say. So we can go to the movement phase for turn 1. You want to tell us what happened?
Yes, so I move my Infernal Dwarves in cover, so as you can see on the picture, and according to my plan, I put my Torek, I go first with my Torek, and I have some maybe charges for the next turn, and carefully I just venture a little bit first with my vassal levies, because I was a bit scared of your cavalry, which is very glass cannon, that if you get charged, I get destroyed. So I don't want to give you any charge anytime soon. So that's the plan, and I move a bit my prophets too, so I can cast some magic. And that's it.
Alright, for range. Excellent. Movement phase, then we had the magic phase, where I think indeed some magic happened.
Yes. Well, since I don't play a lot of magic, since I play Dwarven Old and no Infernal Dwarves normally, so I want to have fun a bit, and I think all in the game I shoot my fireball with 5 dice, and fortunately for me, every time I roll very high score on the dice, and every single one of them did damage to your units.
Yeah,
So
your
I
dice
think
were hot. Yeah.
I blew up one of your little elves, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
in the units.
Yeah, I think two archers even probably. Yeah, no, that was they mean a lot in the quick starter sense. That plays a big role. But luckily for me, there was no shooting because you were far away, I suppose, with these guys. Yeah.
Yes, very far away.
All right. So there was no combat phase in the first turn, and so that means that we can end turn 1 for Frar and go to the charge phase number for turn 1 for me for the Sylvan Elves. So still too far away, no charges. Then in the movement phase, I advanced with both the Dryads and the Huntsmen. And as you can see, I also changed the hill in the center to to the 2D, bidimensional terrain piece in a way that miniatures wouldn't fall over when we move them later on. So this was the movement phase. In the magic phase, I don't really remember what happened. I think that I put a healing waters on this unit of archers. Yes, I can see the green, the green druidism marker over there. So I only managed to put that thing there because I think that you dispelled the truth of time on these guys here, which would have allowed me to charge whomever I wanted, essentially. It was a very good move on your side. Shooting phase, I think that I shot at somebody and nothing absolutely happened. I think that I shot at our roots, but to no avail. There was no combat, and so this is the end of turn 1. We go to charge phase 1 for the Infernal Dwarves.
Yes. So I have a very interesting charges. As you can see, the Torek can charge the unit of Sylvan Elves with a druid in it. Sorry. So I say yes, it's a 10. But if I missed, nothing bad will happen to them, and if I'm successful, I'm pretty much in a good spot to win the game. So I say, let's do it. I roll 2 dice, not 3 guys, because remember we are in a Kickstarter, and I failed. So my charge failed miserably, and I'm here on the picture, and I will be in trouble for the rest of the game, I think.
There was a damnation. Failed charges in the Kickstarter can be a damnation. Yeah. Then we have the movement phase. So how did you counter your lack of luck in the
So I move my Infernal Dwarves always a little bit further, not too much. So I don't march, I just move. And I put back a bit my vassal levies because the cavalry is very threatening to me. And I put my prophet behind my Infernal Dwarves, but still in range of the cavalry, which will be my main focus for all the 3 turns in Magic. So that's the plan. And I think that's all for the movement phase.
Yeah, definitely this cavalry got a lot of attention from you. You can see when I was preparing the slides here, I was always putting a circle around this unit because always something happened to the units, like constantly. You didn't leave them be very reasonably because it's a scary unit. So this is the magic phase of your second turn, and here I see some damage.
Yes, I put already 5 dice on them with fireball. You didn't manage to dispel it, fortunately for me, and I did one kill, I believe.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's a good start.
Yeah.
It's a very good start for me.
Yeah, indeed it is. Then in the shooting phase, nothing happened, right? I don't see.
No, I wasn't in range of. Maybe I was in range of your cavalry, but I didn't manage to hit them. I think.
Yeah, right. Maybe you only had a couple that could shoot because of the thing here. So you only did 2 shots. All right. Yep. So no combat phase, and then we move to the second turn for the Sylvan Elves charge phase.
Yes.
And I say, well, these Dryads, they are only 12 inches away. So 3, 6, 9, 12. They have movement 5. I can make an 8, and I make an 8. So I'm in, luckily, because I don't want the cavalry to charge. I don't think they have devastating charge though. I think they have the infernal weapon, but you know, the +1 makes a difference when you have very small units, as in the quick start, and the +1 for the charge bonus. So this is my charge, and then in terms of movement, I move forward with the archers so that I'm close to the center and I have everything in range. And you know, there's no, even if I lose the combat, you wouldn't have been able to pursue me and then, you know, pursue the dryads with your Tauruks and then get into the archers, because I moved out of the way essentially. And then with the Wild Huntsman, I got a bit bold. I'm treating myself fairly by saying that this is bold. Maybe I could qualify this with a different adjective, but you know, I just put this guys, the Wild Huntsman, on top of the hill. It was a bit stupid, I suppose. Anyway. So this is the movement phase, and in the shooting phase, in the magic phase, sorry, I managed to cast a to give the 5+ Aegis to these guys over here, because I suspected that there would be a target in the next turns. And then in the combat phase, we have Dryads versus Tauruks. You have a close-up here, and I killed 1 Tauruk. I have 1 rank, and I charged, so I win by 3. Tauruks break. The Infernal Warriors just in range of the 6 inches for the panic, but they pass the panic check, and so they flee. The Tauruks flee, and the Dryads pursue, but they don't reach their targets. So this is the end of the second turn. I don't know, in hindsight, maybe this move that got me to the other side and away from the center, I don't know. At the end of turn 2, maybe it's still doable, but the quick starter has its ways of, you know, being interesting. So since we said end of turn 2, we are now at the at half point for the battle, and you see that for the Infernal Dwarves, Frar, you had a fifth of the Tauruk unit gone, and the rest of the unit was fleeing. That's why it's reddish. But I also lost a fifth of my archers and a 20%, same fifth, 20% of my Wild Huntsmen. So till now the game is fairly balanced, still very open.
Yes, but if I can say, I was very lucky that your Dryad didn't catch up with my Toruk. Because if you destroy my Toruk, you could reform, and then you could threaten all my flanks. So I was very lucky here.
Yeah, and especially because the only result that would have kept you alive would have been a 9. As you can see here, you just needed another inch, and you would have been, and you rolled.
Yes,
it's like a pro, The dice go to with it. So, second half of the game, turn 3 for Frar, there was no charge, and we jump to the movement phase.
Yes, so first of all, I succeededly check my troops, so the Torek are again prepared to receive the charge from the Dryad. I venture force my unit of Infernal Dwarves and put my Prophet carefully behind them, so you can still see everything that's going on. I put my levies goat to from the center of the objective, so because the objective is to be close to the hill and to contest the scenario. So that's why I'm here, and I think I will be charged. But since I have a magic phase, a shooting phase, in my mind, I can kill 1 or 2 Sylvan Elves here on the cavalry. So I think I'm in very good spot here. The only thing is, will I succeed my shooting and magic phase?
So let's see, magic over here.
And I believe all my spell was successful. I'm not sure of it, but I put the tin corruption of tin on you, and fireball. I believe this is what happened.
Yeah.
And I managed to kill 1.
Okay.
With fireball.
All right. So this one is dead in the magic phase. Okay.
And that's pretty much it for my phase, and it's your turn now.
Yay. So turn 3 charge phase. and as you see, I declare all 3 charges, and I think that this is where, you know, a better player might have done something different actually. So as you see, this charge here is auto in, this charge here is very possible, and this charge here is borderline, and what happens is that this one fails to charge, the archers, and then this means that the 3 Wild Huntsmen are on their own against 12 of the Infernal Warriors, and then I managed to charge once more my 8 Dryads into the 4 Tauruks. But this charge here, you will see in a second that this is going to be quite an important charge, because if we zoom in, you see that the Druids, the only model that's here to the left, she climbs onto the hill. I'm like, oh man, because if you look at this vassal levies over here, having a Druid over the hill changes everything. So, you know, charge phase of turn 3, a lot happened. So, you know, at that point, I was kind of looking at the screen and saying, and will Frar notice that? Yeah, of course, Frar will notice that. And yeah, but, you know, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is one of those turns where, you know, essentially you have no movement phase because you charged with everything. In the magic phase, I think that nothing happened altogether. Maybe I miscast. I think I miscast and I forgot the healing.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
So no shooting because I'm because I just failed the charge with these dudes here. And then in the combat phase, again, Dryads, Little Joe's Dryads versus the 2D bidimensional standees of the Admiralty Tauruks here. We have a rematch, and in the rematch, finally, you know, I lose 1 Dryad, but you know, I get the chance to kill the dudes and then be back in looking at towards this part of the battlefield. And I think that your prophet didn't fail the panic check, which was a very crucial thing. So in this other combat here, you can see that the 2 Wild Huntsmen killed 4 Infernal Warriors, and then the remaining warriors killed 2 of those. So it's quite a brutal combat, but I think that you saved, you know, your panic, your break test on a 9 because of the steadfast here.
Yes. Fortunately for me, in Kickstarter, even if you have 1 guy in the last rank, you are steadfast. So there is no, you need to have 5 models to have 1 rank. So it's easier for a new player to apprehend the concept of rank. And fortunately for me, that it's play on my favor now.
Good. That's you know, it's intended to be useful in some cases. But then we move to your last turn with your charge phase, and thanks to the Druid.
Yes. So as you can see on the picture, the Druids are on the hill. So my vassal levies can see him, and so they can charge his unit, and I do it with pleasure, and I charge right at them, and I successfully managed to do it. So since I have lots of model, lot of attack, I will win the combat for sure. And that's all for my charge phase. And to save my units of Infernal Dwarves, you will see I put my prophet in front of the unit of the Dryad. And if you are very careful, the Dryad, if they charge me, they don't charge me on the flank, but they must charge me on the front. So this is a small trick from player like me who play mostly in tourney and with some tricky player too. So you learn this kind of thing the hard way usually. So you will see when Pitelio will charge me next turn. It will be very interesting. And I think that's it.
Yeah, that concludes the movement phase. That's the only unengaged unit. Very nice movement. Then we have the magic phase. Yes,
I don't remember what I did in the magic phase. Probably I I must put some corruption of tin
Yeah.
on your cavalry, and
Yeah.
that's it for the magic phase.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to roll 5 dice to do a fiasco and to die miserably. So
Yeah. But it still works.
that's what.
That's when you play against me, the dice. are always.
Yeah, I was very lucky. But I don't know why, but the blue dice was the best dice ever. So every time you use the blue dice, we roll perfectly well.
I'll keep that in mind for my next games. Let's see if that helps me. So no shooting as well, because everybody is in combat and the prophet doesn't have any shooting. And then we get to the melee phase. Yep. So we have this bit of a close-up for the Infernal versus Warriors versus the Wild Huntsmen.
Yes, so according to plan, with a lot of attack, I think I kill pretty much everyone, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And I let your druid, who was the guy responsible for the death of all his units, run away from my unit, and I stay on the hill to have the scenario. So thank you, druid, you did perfectly your job for me, and you will be rewarded by Asheruk, and you will have your bribe later.
This druid here was sculpted by Joël from the forum, so please, if you ever meet Joël at an event, like, convention or tournament or whatever, buy Joël a drink, because he deserves that, because he's druid. For you.
Yes.
Nice. So that ends the combat phase, and so the 4th turn, and so all the turns for Frar. Then it means that it's my last turn and it's the charge phase. So as we've seen before, I charge with my dryads into the prophet, and I have to charge on the front of the prophet, and that means that I turn away from the action. That's a very clever way of moving your general and possibly sacrificing the general. There's no other movement because that's my only unit and it's just charged. There's no magic because the druid is fleeing. I think I didn't even bother. Rallying the druid. She just disappointed me, so I said, yeah, just run to the field, do whatever, and just keep fleeing. And so no shooting phase, and then in the combat phase, I think that I put a wound on you, but it's definitely not enough for anything. Either I kill you and then this guy is flee and nothing happens still, but it was just for the pleasure of killing the cheater and the trickster, but it didn't work out. And that's how the game ended. And here you see the 6 inches area around the center of the battlefield, and in the quick starter you win if you have more units than your opponent. So quick recap in the end. Let's see where we were left. For the Infernal Dwarves, Frar, you lost the Tauruks, and
yes.
You lost a third of the Prophet and of the Infernal Dwarves, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Right. Which it's not huge, but I did something anyway. I didn't just leave you take the battlefield all for yourself. But in my case, it was a bit worse. So my dryads were in relative good shape, but I lost the archers, I lost the wild huntsman. And I didn't even bother rallying the druid, so she's still fleeing here.
Poor fellow. Yes.
But yeah, more importantly, so since we said what the conditions for victory are, you see that the vassal levies here are within 6 inches from the center of the battlefield, and that means that the victory goes to Frar. Well played, man.
Thank you. Well played too. As you can see, for the Sylvan Elves, I played a game against them recently, and in my opinion, they are very glass cannon armies. And they can do a lot of damage, but they cannot take everything back in their units. Otherwise, they will just disappear. Yeah. The Dryad are not very used by many people, but they are very good unit for scoring units because they have a lot of attacks and they have ADs 5+, which is very good for scoring units.
Yeah,
So
and resilience
I like them
for
a lot.
Sylvan Elves. That's always a
Yes,
bonus.
and yes, of course.
As a highborn, I've always looked at those dryads and said like, oh come on, why don't we have dryad or rest 3 for our other elves? But yeah, whatever.
No, that's for the tree lover, and the cavalry, the wild dancer on horse are for me one of the good cavalry of Sylvan Elves, because if they charge you, it's a lot of damage.
Yeah,
It's very good to chase small scoring or some cowboy that you have on battlefield and so forth.
and I really think that I didn't play them well. So when I jumped on the hill, I allowed everybody to fire at them, spells and shooting. I should have probably waited a bit longer and you know, try to preserve them and then maybe do another flank charge. So I definitely misplayed them, and with the dryads, once I broke your Tauruks, probably I should have taken care of the center of the battlefield without going down and chasing them. That was a bit of a silly move, but you know, I got in frenzy mode, so sometimes you just just role play instead of cleverly warplaying. Well, then I think that this concludes this for this match. We're gonna keep this video very brief. Frar, thank you for playing the original game. Thank you for coming up on the channel again and doing this mini screenshot-based battle report. I really hope that I will see you again on the channel, and that we can have another couple of games, maybe even the larger ones.
Yeah, for sure. Some revenge from you.
I need a second chance. Give me a second chance.
Yes. Sure do.
All right. Well, thanks again, Frar, and I will see you soon in the next video. Bye, everybody.
Yes. Bye bye, everybody.